Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about globalization of Indian cinema. Before beginning with that, let's understand what does word globalization mean. Globalization has four aspects, namely movement of goods, capital, technology, and people across borders. In terms of movement of goods, that is movies in our context, Indian movie industry has a long history of presence in Indian market. Right? And now we are trying to relate it with cinema. So how did the cinema started? The cinema started with Lumiere brothers. Lumiere brothers collected some kind of shots. This was the first movie. Why do we call movie a movie? Because anything which is moving. Before that we had still images. But when these still images started moving, we call it movie. So these movies were a collection of different events happening. Maybe the coming of train, workers coming out of the factory, etc., etc., etc. We all know about Lumiere brothers and the films which they all have made. So the very first film which was made was not kept to one country or one part of the world. They started showing it at different parts of the world. They even came to India, and the film was shown in Mumbai in India. And when this film was shown in Mumbai, the Times of India said that it's a marvel of the century. And of course it was a marvel of the century, that this art has developed multifold, and today we are actually talking about globalization of Indian cinema. So in an Indian context, which film is the first film of India? Yes, it was a silent era, and the first film was by Dada Saheb Phalke, Raja Harishchandra. Dada Saheb Phalke is also called as founder, as a father of Indian cinema. There is a very prestigious award also named after Dada Saheb Phalke. It's a very prestigious award of Indian cinema. So Dada Saheb Phalke made a first film called Raja Harishchandra. So Raja Harishchandra was also made with collaboration with technicians from different parts of the world. Himanshu Roy is another major contributor. He was the founder. He was the first showman of Hindi cinema. He was the owner of Bombay Talkies, and he collaborated with IBB of England and made films like Karma. Karma is Fate. He made this film both in English and in Hindi way back in 1933. Awara sent the Soviet Union and other communist bloc countries crazy in 1950s. Mehboob's Aan had a French release after its premiere in London. Long before that, Himanshu Rai made visually stunning films in cooperation with Germans in early 1930s, like The Light of Asia and A Throw of Dice, and many more which were shown in Europe as Indian films with Indian stories. By then, the Bombay film industry had been around 35 years only. And some of the Indian films were sent to international film festivals in 1930s. Sant Tukaram was made in 1936. It was a Marathi film, and it was made by V. Ramle and Fateh Lal. It was the first film which won award at Venice Film Festival. The film was based on life of Sant Tukaram. It was a Marathi film. So what I mean to say here is, from the very beginning, we had collaborations with technicians from different parts of the world. Then, when we're talking about film festivals, and when we're talking about recognition of Indian cinema at various film festivals, we cannot miss films like Neecha Nagar. Neecha Nagar was made in 1946. This was the first film by Chetan Anand. And this film dealt with class conflict, and critics actually talked highly about this film, and this film won the awards in Cannes Film Festival. Neecha Nagar by Chetan Anand, made in 1946. Another very important film was Bimal Roy's Do Biga Zameen. Do Biga Zameen got an international repute. It also won Social Progress Award in Carlo Vera. Um, it was Do Biga Zameen was a very realistic film. It was inspired by a neo-realism. It was a movement which was started in Italy in 1940s. What is neorealism? Um, Neorealism is realism something which is based on reality. Neo, which is new reality. After the Second World War, the world was changing. The reality of life was changing. So see, when there is a difference in the reality, when there is a difference in the way we all are living, the art form definitely gets inspired by that. They wanted to showcase the reality. So this reality, the movement which started, this reality took the cinema out of studio life. So earlier films were made in studios, like we have talked about German expressionists. So of course this was possible because new technologies were coming up, lighter cameras were there, the handy lights were available. So these new filmmakers came out of studios, and they started making films on location, on real life locations. And even the actors were not the professional actors, they were real life characters. So these real life non-professional actors were used. Acting was no more melodramatic. It was very realistic style of acting. The context was realism. Some Indian films were inspired by this new realism, and Do Biga Zameen is one of them. And when we're talking about realism in Indian cinema, we cannot miss out talking about Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray, we have already talked about Satyajit Ray at length in another session, but we cannot miss talking about him during this context also. Satyajit Ray showcased the rural Bengal life. He made a trilogy which became very popular, like Pather Panchali, Apur Sansar, Aprajito. It won several awards at different levels. Winning awards definitely highlights that Indian cinema was talked about at various levels at international platforms. It was getting its due recognition, and Satyajit Ray's films were of that caliber, had that realistic touch to it, that these films were appreciated at international levels. So this definitely proves that Indian cinema was not limited to Indian audience, and globalization of Indian cinema is not a recent phenomenon. It has been there since the very beginning of the first film made by Raja Harishchandra, made by Dada Saheb Phalke. Now in today's era, it is a very big market as well. Indian cinema is the largest producers of films in the world. 25% of the entire world's cinema is made in India. When I'm talking about Indian cinema, I'm not only talking about Hindi films, I'm talking about Marathi films, South Indian films, Tamil, Telugu, Bangla, Assamese, films in different languages. India is a multilingual country, and we have films in all the languages. So we make a lot of films. And why do we make a lot of films? We make a lot of films in different languages because our audience appreciates them. Our audience get entertained by them. For our audience, films are the major source of entertainment. So whenever any family wants to go out and for entertainment, they usually go out for a movie together. Now, there was another major thing which happened in 1990s. 1991 is a remarkable year for Indian economy from a point of view of liberalization. Open door policy started happening. Yeah. So from an economic point of view, 1991 is very important for India, and this is the same year when satellite television actually was introduced in India, which again changed the way people used to watch and get entertained from media. Uh, and later internet, and now social media, and now the series of on Netflix, on Hotstar, etc., etc. So the scenes are changing very fast. But the era of liberalization made a very major played a very major role in Indian economy, and it increased the consumption of films as well. This time gave rise to multiplexes. When these multiplexes came, the audiences were able to, right? And when we had different small halls, we could showcase the films apart from multi commercial film or a blockbuster films, or films which were of high budget. So the films which were made up of low budget for a specific audience also got some kind of recognition during this time. They also got some their audience. It brought the audience to them, and this is the time when the ticket rates were also increased multifold. So definitely uh, there was increase in commerce. The commerce and finances were definitely impacted with that. So Indian cinema has grown strongly overseas also. There's an overseas market of Indian cinema as well. And finally, Bollywood exports play an important role in Indian film industry's growing popularity overseas. The era of globalization effectively placed Indian film industry on a global platform. This essentially popularized Bollywood movies in countries like US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, etc. And that roughly half of Bollywood's estimated $2 billion annual revenue comes largely from these overseas markets, where Indian communities provide a great number of audience for theatrical releases and DVD sales.